Hi, friends. Welcome to It's G and me. I'm Miss G, and I'm so happy you're here today because I have a fun new book. But before we get into the book, let's talk a little bit. If you guys saw my last video with the rabbit, we talked about something called characters. Can you say characters? Characters are who is in the story. Characters can be people, characters can be animals, characters can be things like pencils and crayons. So, in our rabbit book, our character was the rabbit. In our unicorn book, our characters were the unicorn and the goat. Today, I want you thinking about who is in our story. Who is the character? And our new story, bum bum bum. You might have seen it before, you might have heard of it before, but we're going to talk about it today. Before we do that, yet again, there's one more thing I want to tell you about. It's a new thing and it's called settings. Can you guys say settings? The setting of a story is where it takes place. So in our dinosaur book, it took place at school. That was the setting. So today we're going to think about who is in our story and where is it? Is it on Mars? Is it in a park? Is it about an apple? Is it about a person? Those are the two things I want you guys thinking about. So, the title of our story is called The Snowy Day. If you've heard of this story, awesome. But if you haven't, what do you think it's about? Probably about snow, probably about maybe this kid in the snow. I think I've been hearing some good answers. Well, this is our front cover of our story, and this is the author, Ezra Jack Keats. Now, these things are medals. Do you guys know what these medals are for? These medals mean that this story was so good. It won the grand prize, the medal prize. That's how good this story is. Isn't that exciting? So we're going to figure out, why is this story so good? Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. This is our title page when the title's repeated. And now I'm finally reading the story. This is actually the title page, my friends. Okay. Sometimes they dedicate the story. And look at that. Look at our friend. Look at what he's doing. One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out the window. Snow had fallen during the night. It covered everything as far as he could see. Have you guys seen snow before? If you haven't, that's okay. Some places where we live, there's no snow. But if you do live in a place with snow, how is it? Is it cold? Is it fluffy? Tell me about it. Usually snow is fluffy and it's cold and it's like ice a little bit. Wow, look at that. Look at all that snow, my friends. After breakfast, he put on his snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled up very high along the street to make a path for walking. Our friend Peter is looking at all the snow around him. Crunch, crunch, crunch. His feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out like this. See how his toes were? He walked with his toes pointing in like that. Look at his toes pointing in. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Then he dragged his feet slowly to make tracks. And he found something sticking out of the snow that made new tracks. What do you think he found, my friends? It was a stick. A stick that was just right for smacking a snow-covered tree. What do you think is going to happen with all that snow on top, friends? Well, he's right under it, so plop, down fell the snow. Plop, on top of Peter's head. Look at Peter's head with all that snow. Crunch, crunch, crunch. When you walk in snow, usually it makes a crunching sound. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So that's what's happening. He thought it would be fun to join the big boys in, sorry, getting the angle, their snowball fight. But he knew he wasn't old enough. Not yet. So there you go, those big boys playing with the snow. And there goes Peter. So he made a smiling snowman. And he made angels. He pretended he was a mountain climber. He climbed up a great big, tall, heaping mountain of snow and slid all the way down. Have my friends ever slid down a hill before? Sometimes covered with snow, sometimes not. I know when I was little, I did not have a sled, so I had to use a cardboard box, and that's what I used to slide down the hill. He picked up a handful of snow, and another, and still another. He packed it round and firm, and put the snowball in his pocket for tomorrow. Then he went into his warm house. Look at that, my friends. So, what does firm mean? Well, firm means something hard, like really hard. And when you push snow together and really squeeze it together, it can get really hard. He told his mother all about his adventures while she took off his wet socks. His socks got wet because he was outside. And he thought and thought and thought about them. What's he thinking about, my friends? Before he got into bed, he looked in his pocket. What do you think happened to the snowball, my friends? Right? It melted. His pocket was empty. The snowball wasn't there. He felt very sad. Oh, he went to bed sad. Well, sometimes that happens, friends. Snow melts, right? But hopefully, while he slept, he dreamed that the sun had melted all the snow away. Oh no! When it's really hot, snow melts just like ice. So that's why his snowball wasn't in his pocket. And that's why he was thinking when he woke up, the snow would be gone. But it wasn't. But when he woke up, let me get the angle. But when he woke up, his dream was gone. The snow was still everywhere. New snow was falling. Look at all that snow, my friends. And when you look at snow really, 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 really close, it looks just like that. After breakfast, he called to his friend from across the hall, and they went together into the deep, deep snow. Wow, look at that. The end. So, what happened at the end of my story, friends? Well, I can tell you what happened was he went back out with his friend, right? And if you said the same thing as me, good job. Great listening. Now, bum, 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 bum. In the beginning of today's video, we talked about setting. What was the setting of our story? Where did it take place? Was Peter in a rainforest? No. Was Peter in a desert? No. Where was our friend Peter? The setting was a snowy day, right? Good job. Now, who is the character in our story? Who was this story all about? I'm pointing to him. If you don't remember his name, that's okay. But our character is bum 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 Peter. If you said the little boy, that's okay too. And if you weren't sure, that's okay too. We're still learning this. But good job. If you love this story, Miss G loves it too. The Snowy Day. And it is all about our friend getting into some fun with snow. How do you guys play with snow? Like Miss G said, I would make a cardboard box and go down hills with the snow. And snowball fights, which can be sometimes a little too much, but it's still fun. Okay, friends, great job listening. I'm so happy you're here. Make sure to subscribe so that the videos can pop up and you don't have to worry about typing them in. I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.